Having allegiance to the teachings of the Scriptures, many fathers of the Church tried ardently to pursue God's injunction, "Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect," Matthew 5:48. In a spirit of prayer, struggle against worldly things, and self-denial, they embarked on an eternal adventure in search of God, in search of perfection, and, as God, in the hope of experiencing the mystical event of deification. It was a lifelong adventure. Although they realized that they could never be perfect in an absolute sense, it was entirely possible for men to attain the supernal and divine goal that the infinite God set for human beings by the model of Jesus as the incarnation of himself. Thus, they became imitators of Christ. To achieve a kind of mystical self-realization and attainment of mind in their own sphere, just as God is perfect in his sphere of eternity and infinity. Yet, they felt that their aspiration for perfection and deification was a supernal reality which remained forever hidden. Luc Brissard, in A History of Monastic Spirituality, explains that real union with God through belonging to Christ, the God-man, is a supernatural reality which remains mysterious and hidden. Theirs was a mystical aspiration, a strong desire for communion with this hidden reality. It is true that their effort for attaining divine perfection on earth was not to be final in their experience, however, it was indeed final and complete regarding finite aspects of perfection of personality motive. Furthermore, the Eastern Fathers had the certitude that God could only be demonstrated through their experience by means of the indwelling ministry of the Holy Spirit. They realized that it was only in the realms of human experience, and by their cultivation of the consciousness of the presence of God, that led them to this state of mysticism, of a vision of God. But since many became hermits, they continued their search of perfection in social isolation, and thus exposed themselves to the threat of fanatical practices. It is true that devotion to meditation and contemplation favor the mystical experience, but it is more frequently facilitated, as Saint Basil, a fierce anti-hermit, envisioned, by wholehearted and loving service in unselfish ministry to one's fellow creatures. True spirituality should not reject the living of a religious life in the open field of human society.